Red Letter Media definitely pulls off the 70-minute review of episode 1, but I can see how.
Well, the problem I have with that is his skit is I'm a crazy murderer.
And that's fine. I like it.
It bothers me personally.
Yeah, it's supposed to bother you. And it does a very good job, and that's why I love it. It's like you want to like this guy, but he's like this horrible murderer. But you want to like this guy. And that really that's the part that gets to you. Also, nothing's better to send a message on my website. I'll send you a pizza roll. You want a pizza roll? The pizza rolls.
Personally, it bothers me but I'm okay with you liking him because he does bring up legitimate points, and I do fully agree with his legitimate points.
Yeah.
I just am disgusted by his skit.
Yeah, I can understand, but I mean,
And the thing is this, I'm willing to say he does make legitimate points, and when he does talk about the legitimacy of these points, I am totally behind him.
Yeah.
It's just the skits are disgusting to me, and that's all I can say.
I understand. I trained under some people that taught me to be desensitized to practically anything. So it's like, oh, okay, he's got a woman tied up in the basement. La 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 la.
Yeah, it's
like when I watch Saw. It's like, oh, this is cute. This is adorable.
It's the guy from Princess Bride that was too stuck up to show up on the extras. Okay, I hope he saws his leg off.
Yeah,
Everybody else showed up. Why are you better than them?
Because unlike them, he can speak with an English accent.
God damn it. Well, unlike them, he didn't move on to better films.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the girl who played Buttercup got to play Jenny.
Yep. And the guy...
I was running. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But yeah, no, I like the skits. I mean, yeah, I can see how you think they're disgusting. I kind of like them. He's actually like playing around with you while he's giving the interview. So
but when he talks about his problem with Yoda, that's exactly what my problem with Yoda is, and I explained it to Neil in detail. And I'm against Yoda ever using a lightsaber.
Well, it just sort of I did get caught up in it when I first saw it, and I think that was just because I had sat through Attack of the Clones. So
you were waiting for something as a payoff.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I guess my brain had just finally broken, and I was like, yeah, Yoda. But afterwards, I was very, very embarrassed with myself because I was like, I should not have cheered for that, but I did because I had to sit through that awkward romance. Oh, and I have to say this: I now actually like Natalie Portman because I did like Black Swan and I did like Thor, and now I actually like her and all that was done with the prequels.
Yeah, if Natalie Portman really did gravitate to the whiny bitch, she would be with Loki.
Yeah,
and Loki wasn't nearly as whiny bitch as Anakin, though.
Loki in this was not a whiny bitch. He
was a little bit, but he didn't come off as you brought him here to kill me.
No, but he was more like
you underestimate my power.
No, he wasn't. He certainly was not that. He was more like, son of a bitch, you didn't tell me where I came from. And and I know that like Odin does favor Thor, but then again, you can tell, like as my husband put it, the actor who played Loki depicted Loki perfectly in that his eyes look like he's constantly thinking, like he's constantly plotting. And that's Loki. He's constantly thinking, what am I going to do next? Who am I going to fuck next? Yeah. But anyway, I like that actor. The actor who played Loki was really good. I think he did a really good job. And, of course, Anthony Hopkins as Odin was awesome. And the guy who played Heimdall was excellent. Heimdall was awesome. So I really have no problems with the movie. I can't really think of anything. I might need to see it one more time.
Okay. I wish they did more with the ideas of the theology, because I felt like that was more glossed over than really talked about.
Yeah, I kind of felt they kind of glossed over it, but I don't know. They kind of got to the important parts, which is Thor is the son of Odin,
and he got into Jane's pants by drawing a tree.
Sure, he's also ripped his shit. So I mean,
yeah, I know women love him, and I had to go and check my birth certificate to make sure I was a male, because I couldn't compare to that body.
Yes, that body says it all. It says, you don't need to know anything.
Well, that's the thing. She's looking for the innate secrets of the universe, and she has to ask. She has to ask, like, no offense to Thor, the dumbest, toughest brute in Asgard these questions, and the best he can do is draw a tree.
Well, I mean, to the Asgardians, it really is a tree. I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying that, you know, if he was able to explain something that's like common fact and that even the dumbest Asgardian knows, and it's like this great revelation to her, there's something better than drawing a tree. That was better for me.
I think it's just a way to, you know.
Yeah, and also, dude, it's just a movie. You should really just relax.
I'm sorry. I would have liked if Sif was a little bit upset about, you know.
About her. Well, I was wondering about that because I was like, wait. And also, Sif had black hair, which kind of irritated me.
Well, that's because Sif has black hair in Marvel Comics.
I know she does, and that still irritates me.
I know. And you know what? I always want to ask, what do you think of the Warrior 3? Because I know those weren't in Norse mythology, and I know you're deep down in that.
I know. I actually like. I like deviating a little bit. It's just that with beautiful golden hair is just awesome looking.
Yeah.
So that's my only. That's why I have an irritation with that. But like, I am kind of loose with the myth too. I mean, Valkyrie.
Well, you know what? You know, at least they had Sif there, and at least her body wasn't hijacked by Loki like it was in the comics.
This is true. Look, and also Loki was awesome. I did like that.
Loki was good.
Yes.
I love the acting in this movie.
You know what?
I love the moment where he cracks up. It's like
the way that Loki broke apart about emotionally, it could have been totally done in that really bad ham-fisted liar.
Exactly.
I'm happy.
I killed them all.
I killed them all.
I killed them like animals. They'll sleep with me.
Okay. And see, this time Natalie Portman ended up with someone she really should have sex with, rather than this a whiny little bitch who slaughtered an entire race of people.
Oh, and Neil has a good point. At least they didn't give him "Verily doth."
Yeah, they did pull back a little bit, and that was okay.
That's the one thing I hated. I don't know if you ever read Ultimates 3, which is one of the shittiest comic books ever.
I have yet to read it because I don't.
Because what happened was this: the guy who wrote Ultimates 3, you know, he probably read the Brian Hitch, Mark Millar 1 and 2 volumes. It's like all these interesting things he did with all these characters, making them different than their standard continuity counterpart. I'm gonna ignore all of that. Have Thor talk in Old English again. Use the square hammer version of Mjolnir and all this shit. And god damn it.
I know. I stopped after Ultimates 2 because a friend of mine said.
Warned you?
Yeah, because they knew that probably would have.
And by the way, he gave Valkyrie powers by having sex with her.
I'm okay with that. That's funny. That's funny.
You gave me powers. He throws water.
And the little thing, the thing that Ultimates 2, when they thought that Thor was a crazy guy, I actually looked it up and I found that Thor does actually have a magic belt that gives him strength. Yeah. So that actually made sense after I read that. Like, oh, actually, this Mark Millar knows what he's doing. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Because.
And by the way, that's one thing. Did you ever show Thor's belt in SGVY?
It's never been shown.
Well, he has a long shirt, so maybe he's wearing it.
Yeah, he always wears like kind of like Umbros or like, you know, jogging pants and a shirt, so you don't really get to see it.
Well, I remember Thor has gloves as well. At least he's supposed to, or something.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to have gloves, but gloves are hard to like remember to put on people. What's the belt do again? Excuse me?
What's the belt do again?
Oh, it gives him the strength to actually pick up Mjolnir.
And what's the gloves do again? Give him like skill or something?
Something like, I think like the ability to like aim true or something like that. Everyone had lots of magical armor. Like, I have a ring that allows me to aim a little better. Well, I have gloves that make me be able to make chocolate better. And things like that.
It's very important.
Yes. Or, you know, a hat that always keeps your hair straight.
Yeah. Siegfried has the sword that can cut through an anvil, right?
Yeah. So everyone's got a special thing. It's awesome. And I did like that they kept the gourmet god.
Oh, I did like one thing. I did like how the Errol Flynn-esque of the Warrior Street was totally doing Errol Flynn in the movie.
Yes.
He was totally doing Errol Flynn.
Yes.
Definitely.
But it was great because it was
I just felt that they put so many different directions in there. I would have liked one a little bit more fully fruited.
like I don't know. I think it all fell together. I mean, it did feel a little like set-up-y for Avengers, but
Yeah.
But I did like the epicness, and I did like that there were some fight scenes. We didn't have this crap that's been happening lately where, we have a boring movie where there's no action scene, and then there's an action scene at the end. And you're like, great, I'm glad we took the whole movie to get to this. This is awesome. At least there was a fight scene at the beginning, there's fight scene in the middle, there's fight scene at the end. It's really, and there wasn't like those false endings that movies tend to have now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's totally, I think it hurt it more that it was trying to set up so much for the Avengers. If they cut back a little bit of the Avengers setup, it would have been better.
But overall, I think it was.
Oh, by the way, what do you think of Hawkeye's cameo?
Oh my God, that was great because it was like he was like he never fires, and I really liked that. I liked that mostly it was the tension of him just pulling on the string. I mean,
it's totally in the realm of human ability to catch an arrow, right?
Well, they proved it in Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Thor was not in the condition after trying to pick up Mjolnir. I think he wasn't in the condition to pick to.
You know what I'm glad about? They didn't have the damn writing on the side.
Like all the. Oh yeah.
The paragraph.
Yeah.
The paragraph of legal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would have been a little too much for the viewers. Come on. Yeah. But I did like what they did with Bifrost. Bifrost looked pretty kick-ass with the the floor that was sort of rainbowy, kind of like optic fiber. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything in that movie, and also the CG was not annoying. It was well done.
The one thing though that bothered me, and this is probably because I actually was a blacksmith for a couple of years, the armor looked fake as all shit.
Well, it looked cool.
Give me a piece of aluminum, I can hammer something that looks better than that.
Dude, it's magical. You don't understand. Magical armor kind of looks like it's made of vinyl and crap.
Yeah, because
looks like plastic that's spray painted?
Yes, that's what magical armor looks like.
It's like spray painted plastic that lasts even more than regular metal and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have to be honest, Sif's shield looked like a toy.
No, it just looks like that because it's magical.
It's magical.
See, that's to deceive the enemy, man.
Yeah,
they think
exactly.
They think it's going to be
like
cheap.
painting the tops of the guns in orange.
Okay, I'll be fair. It looked more real than the dragon dagger from Power Rangers.
Okay, but honestly, I think this movie didn't have as much of a budget as some of the other movies.
Oh,
so it could have, and they were using a lot more practical. Like they weren't doing as much CG. Like how an Iron Man. The Iron Man suit is CG.
Except for some shots where it's actually well-made plastic, except for the pants, because he stopped doing pants in the second movie because I'm not doing pants again. so you have Robert Downey Jr. walking around without pants, and he's not drunk.
I believe it's the same way to focus on the material as it did with Iron Man. It's like, okay, you need to make this movie. It has to look expensive, but not too much. Try to keep it under the radar and focus on presenting the character.
That's what I loved about the first Iron Man movie. The original gray armor. Oh my God, that was also great.
That was effing great, and that looked like metal. You can
yes,
say
it did. It looked like real metal.
Why?
Actually,
because it was earth metal. It wasn't magical.
Yeah. See, that's the difference.
Oh, boy, I'm gonna. No more.